A warm welcome to all the Virgo rising signs of the zodiac to your astrology video for July 2025. Hope you're doing well. It's Cosmic Girl, and thanks for being here. So, as always, with these monthly videos, I talk about the planets in transits, what natal houses these transits are happening, and what it means for you as a Virgo rising sign and illuminations. But before we get into all of that good stuff, let's focus in on your chart ruler, Mercury, where Mercury is transiting and what you can expect for the month. Well, your chart ruler Mercury is still transiting in that natal 12th house being Leo. And Mercury is not getting out of the zodiac sign of Leo until the 2nd of September. So, with your chart ruler being in that natal 12th house, it's quite an interesting transit astrologically. And your chart ruler Mercury goes into a retrograde this month. And that is going to be where you can really see the results of where you put your best efforts in regards to indulgence behind the scenes, where you really let your freak flag fly, not in public, but what fills your cup up. And with Mercury retrograde, you get to see how that's working out for you or not, how it affects your sense of authority with your body, what you want to begin, your life, your image, and your identity. So that's quite helpful when your chart ruler is retrograding in that natal 12th house of Leo in the month of July. But for now, Mercury's for the whole month in that natal 12th house, working out things behind the scenes is what the focus is for you as a Virgo rising signs. And on the 2nd of September, your chart ruler Mercury will then ingress into your natal first house being Virgo. And that bodes well for you for out of the hidden cave and into the spotlight you go, and you're ready to launch into something. So for now, what I see astrologically for the Virgo rising signs is putting plans into action where you can get stronger within yourself and feel into what works for you, what doesn't, what makes your heart sing, what hemorrhages your effort and your energy, or especially anything indulgent is quite a beneficial transit with your chart ruler in the natal 12th house of Leo for the whole month of July. So keeping that as a footnote, that's where your focus is on your chart ruler Mercury. So wherever you hear Mercury throughout this video, then your ears should be tweaked. That will let you know if the astrology weather's at your back or if there's potential challenges. All right, Virgo rising signs, let's get into the planets in transits. So Mars is in your natal first house, and Mars is the planet that can really get a job done. It can certainly slash away old identities, give you a sense of and a big exfoliation moment with Mars in the natal first house of Virgo, where Mars just wants to cut through the wheat and the chaff regarding your sense of self. So this is quite a beneficial transit to have Mars in the natal first house for the whole month of July, helping you and assisting you where you can really get down to brass tacks, if you will, on building strength within your own sense of self, who you are. And your chart ruler in Leo in your natal 12th house is also really helpful in regarding knowing your identity, who you are, what works and what doesn't. And Mars is certainly helping you work that out as well. So if you work with planets in transits and you want to know when's the right time to get cracking and eliminate bad habits and old identities, old routines, this is the transit to get cracking and getting rid of the dead wood. Beneficial for Mars being in your natal first house. It's also really good for surgeries and eliminating anything that makes you feel less than your fabulous best. Good transit. For the whole month, Mars will be in your natal first house. Enjoy it. Jupiter's still transiting in Cancer in your natal 11th house where Jupiter's exalted. So Jupiter will be here until the 30th of June 2026. So for a year and change, you have jolly Jupiter in its house of joy, that natal 11th house in Cancer. It bodes really well for alliances, friends, social connections, dreams, and aspirations, getting more of your time and energy. And when people that we knock shoulders with are benefiting and that we enjoy their company, then we get to see and benefit from being in their company and what they can bring to us to assist us. Beautiful transit with Jupiter in your natal 11th house of Cancer, where it's exalted. So we'll be here for the whole month as well. So you've got really good astrology. That natal first house sextiles the 11th house, where Mars is doing really well, and you have Jupiter in the 11th doing well. So it's a nice connect up. So you might be getting some social invitations, or you benefit from friends or powerful alliances with this transit. Well done. Okay, on the 4th of July, we have Venus conjunct Uranus, then Venus ingresses into Gemini, and Neptune begins its retrograde in Aries. Okay, so we've got three individual alignments going on the 4th of July, and we'll talk about these individually, what it means to be a rising sign. But first things first, I'd like to say happy 4th of July to my US listeners out there. I hope you have a great day of celebration. All right. So, Venus conjunct Uranus. This is interesting. This could be a sudden change regarding a travel plan, something to do with education, or a person or a place that has a plan with you. Expect a spanner thrown in the works on the 4th of July when Venus conjuncts Uranus in Taurus in your ninth house of well laid plans for future pursuits. We then have Venus ingressing into Gemini, and this is a significant transit for the Virgo rising signs. With Venus transiting in your natal 10th house, we're talking about an angular part of your natal chart. So this is going to be quite prominent for you. It's something to sit up and listen when we're talking about the astrology and planets and transits. Now, Venus is the planet of bringing things to us, and it's in that natal 10th house of achievement, anything official, your professional arena, and your career path and public identity. So, with Venus transiting in curious Gemini, then there's opportunities for the Virgo rising signs to capitalize on diverse paths regarding your public identity, anything official with your achievements and your career trajectory. Don't keep yourself boxed in. Venus won't really give you a sense of something being completely said and done in Gemini. Venus is going to bring you diversity in opening up your career house and things that you're known for on the public stage. So it's a beneficial transit for dipping your toes in and out of a new career path, uh, setting something in motion to end something regarding anything official of an official capacity with your work life or public identity. So, quite helpful. But Venus and Gemini can be a little shiny ball syndrome. So, it can be distracting too when you're trying to get a job done, but there's too much variety and tempting pathways. So, it can be a little bit distracting when you're trying to get a job done or something official, sealed and dealed with Venus and Gemini in your 10th house. But tongues will be wagging, potential for developing more closer bonds in regards to your public life with your career, your professional arena, and also bodes really well for official marriages of any nature. Really nice with Venus in the 10th house of Gemini. We also have Neptune going retrograde in Aries in your natal 8th house at 2 degrees. Not too concerned about this. Neptune hasn't been in Aries long enough to make a serious impact on your 8th house to date because it's only 2 degrees. So, if anything, I could say with this transit for the Virgo rising signs is there may be some almost hard evidence regarding your engagement with shared resources, other people's finances, death and inheritance topics and subjects. You may start to really see or hear some feedback about how you are being integrated or called to action in regards to cementing something financially with someone and how that's working out for you with Neptune retrograding in your natal 8th house at 2 degrees of Aries from the 4th of July. On the 7th, really great day for getting a job done. If you plan to crunch numbers or do the hard yards and you go, well, when am I going to get time to do it all? The 7th of July would be a great day to head down, bum up metaphor, get a job done. Venus is sextiling Saturn and retrograde Neptune in Aries and trining retrograde Pluto. Just screams, just do what you have to do day regarding anything official, paperwork, or with your career. Bodes really well. So the newsworthy astrological planetary transit is going to be Uranus ingressing into Gemini in your natal 10th house. Uranus hasn't been in Gemini for 84 years. So this is a very big astrological deal on the 7th of July. Now, Uranus will be retrograding back into your natal 9th house and won't be back into your natal 10th house of Gemini permanently until April 2026. So this is like a sneak peek into potential pathways that are going to open up in your natal 10th house of Gemini with your career, your public image, your public name and identity, anything official, achievements, and your professional arena. So let's talk about this. I won't labor it too long because it's going back into retrograde. I will do a separate video about this transit of Uranus and Gemini. So if you haven't subscribed and hit the bell, do so, and you will get notified when I upload that video about this transit. But for now, think of this as a soft opening. It's not official, but there's definitely some hints happening here of shifts and change that are going to be extremely beneficial for your natal 10th house, that angular part of your natal chart, no less, where Uranus will be transiting permanently from April 2026 for over 7 years, Virgo rising signs. So this will be part of the video to sit up and take notice. Okay, so we'll talk about your natal 10th house and Uranus combined in Gemini, which is going to be so exciting for all of us with Uranus in Gemini. Now, it's been 84 years. It's been a beat. And we think of the natal 10th house, and you can think of this natal 10th house with Uranus not here, this has been like sleepwalking. It's very familiar. Yeah, we know the 10th house very well. We know our career, we know our public identity, we know what we're known for, we know our achievements, we know our professional life, we know the authority figures in our life. It's nothing's too much of a second guess. We sort of know what's what when we put our clothes on in the morning and we get out there on the world stage. So the 10th house is pretty familiar. But when Uranus steps in here in Gemini, this is all systems go for you've been sleepwalking, Virgo rising signs, and that 10th house needs a serious upgrade. And Uranus says, I'm here to make that happen, to shoot you into a different stratosphere, liberate you, create more freedom for you. I am waking things up in regards to it's now time for people to see your labor, see your effort, see you for who you really are. And I'm going to make it easier for you, Virgo rising signs, to see the forest for the trees on where things are old hat and where you need a serious upgrade that is going to be oh so welcome when it comes to stepping into new terrains. So this transit is going to be some transit. So from the 7th of July, moving forward, any opportunities regarding an upgrade to your public identity, your career, anything official, or with a public achievement with your career, accept, take the offers, open your mind, open those doors that you would otherwise leave closed because Uranus is encouraging advancement. Enjoy the potentials. When you get an offer, don't dumb it down. It might be just the tonic you need to liberate and have more freedom in regards to you calling the shots with your public appearance. Beautiful. Virgo rising signs. On the 10th of July, we have a full moon in Capricorn, and this full moon's at 18 degrees in your natal 5th house. This can be the day where you can emotionally pass on the baton of responsibility to those near and dear to you. This is a serious upgrade for you when things that you love oh so dearly can carry on with their own responsibilities and you taking a step back. Expect on the 10th of July a happy completion of responsibility in regards to holding everyone up that is near and dear to you. People are learning to run their own race, and that bodes well for you and frees you up to do things that you love instead of propping everyone up around you all the time. Great day on the 12th of July when you can see people and things that you love finally upgrading. On the 13th, we have Saturn now retrograding in Aries in your natal eighth house, and Saturn's at 1 degrees. Again, astrologically speaking, I don't see this as being newsworthy. Saturn hasn't been long in Aries, it's only at 1 degree. If anything, you can possibly see the merits or the potential pitfalls regarding death, inheritance, or financial entanglements. You'll be able to see the forest for the trees and what's working financially and what's not with Saturn now retrograding in your natal eighth house with retrograde Neptune. Not too much of a big astrological deal. We also, on the 13th of July, if you want to plan a day to do something nice and easygoing, it will be the 13th of July. We've got retrograde Saturn and retrograde Neptune sextiling retrograde Pluto, Uranus and Gemini trining retrograde Pluto and Aquarius, and sextiling retrograde Saturn and retrograde Neptune. In other words, in short layman's terms, nothing's a push to get a job done and do what we have to do. It's an easygoing, flowy day on the 13th of July. Plan to just have a pretty good day. On the 18th, we now see your chart ruler Mercury go into its retrograde. This retrograde starts at 15 degrees of Leo in your natal 12th house, and it will go direct at 4 degrees of Leo next month on August 11. So with your chart ruler now retrograding in that natal 12th house of Leo, you get to see the results, the fruits of your labor in regards to what you've been putting your heart and soul towards behind closed doors. How's that working out for you? And where can you now identify what fills your cup and what drains you in regards to doing things in isolation and doing a lot of heavy lifting on your own? Beneficial transit with your chart ruler now retrograding in that powerful zodiac sign of Leo in your natal 12th house. Really good retrograde. We also have your chart ruler Mercury speaking in supreme harmony to planet Venus. This really bodes well for something official or your career having a serious upgrade, or at least the conversation is now flowing on sealing something with a nice red bow. Great day on the 18th of July. Moving on to the 22nd, we now see the sun leave your natal 11th house of Cancer and ingress into Leo, its sign of domicile, joining your chart ruler Mercury retrograde. And the sun will be in your 12th until August 22nd. Interesting. We have a well-positioned sun in domicile in Leo. This is a strong, strong transit for the sun. But in that natal 12th house, it's extra special where your chart ruler Mercury is also retrograding. Okay, let's talk this one out. What I like about this for the Virgo rising signs is leadership behind closed doors, sort of putting pieces into place that make you feel empowered. It's also great for recognition. It's also fantastic for relationships and children kicking goals with the sun in Leo in your natal 12th house. But because that natal 12th house is almost unseen successes, when the sun's here for you, transiting here for 4 weeks, it just feels like a chance to prep the ground before the sun ingresses into your natal first house on the 22nd of July. So if you need to put your ducks in a row, this would be the transit to do it. Sort of get your clothes ready for work, get the official paperwork in order, do what you need to do before the sun goes into your natal first house when it indicates all systems go and a brand new day is starting. So this is a great transit with the sun in the natal 12th of Leo to identify, sift through the wheat and the chaff on what benefits you in an official capacity regarding the leadership, taking the reins and being very aware of what ticks your boxes and what you do in isolation. Does it work or doesn't it? Good transit. Very productive transit when the sun is in domicile in Leo in your natal 12th house from the 22nd of July to the 22nd of August. We also have the sun speaking in supreme harmony to planet Uranus, only new in your natal 10th house. This also indicates a almost out of the blue opportunity regarding work or something about your public identity getting a serious upgrade. So again, there's something going on with your career, your public image that is of real benefit in the month of July. Really nice for you on the 22nd. Expect an out of the blue offer or something about your public image getting a serious upgrade. On the 24th, wow, this would be a day to just accept that life isn't perfect. Plans may not go accordingly, and we need to adapt and shift as needed. So it can be a bit of a hiccupy day. We've got the Sun trine retrograde, Saturn and retrograde Neptune, Sun opposing retrograde Pluto, Venus squaring Mars. So can be a little bit, you know, I really thought this was going to happen, but now there's been a spanner in the works. It's that sort of day, nothing we can't handle. But the standout on July 24 is a new moon in Leo at 2 degrees in your natal 12th house, where your chart ruler Mercury is currently retrograding with the sun. So the focus again is on that natal 12th house. This is good for pregnancy, planning pregnancies, planning to change residence, planning to move the goalposts whenever you emotionally see fit. So good for connecting on the 24th of July with your heart and soul. What do you want and what do you need to do to execute things that you hold near and dear? Great day on the 24th of July to feeling into the horizons and seeing what it takes to get there. On the 30th, we have Venus ingress into Cancer, joining Jupiter in your natal 11th house until the 25th of August. So the two benefics are traveling together in your natal 11th house. This bodes really well for professional alliances being available and gifting you with opportunity. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for professional opportunities and relationships. Great transit for hooking up with different people, places, and faces that can help you with your public identity, anything official, or your career path. Venus also in your natal 11th house of Cancer with Jupiter bodes well for turning a relationship into something more official, especially if it's a friendship that's been teeter-tottering for a little while. This may be the transit where you both just look at each other and go, we're stepping it up a bit. We're not friends and we know better. So that can also happen. Friendships turning into actual relationships with Venus in your natal 11th house. It also bodes well for social invitations. So expect invitations to dinner, concerts, family get togethers, really good transit for mingling and enjoying life. I really like this transit for you. So if you work with planets and transits and you're wondering, when am I going to really enjoy relationships? When am I going to get together with my friends and family? When is the best time for me to plan to spend time with those near and dear to me? It'll be from the 30th of July to the 25th of August. Beneficial transit, the two benefics working brilliantly in your 11th house of joy. Enjoy it. What a way to end the month. On the 31st of July, the sun is conjunct your chart ruler, Mercury, which is retrograde in Leo. Not forgetting that the sun is in domicile in Leo, well positioned, and is having a fantastic moment with your chart ruler, Mercury retrograde in your natal 12th house. Leo. Whoa, this is a beautiful way to end the month. What I like about this astrologically for you as a Virgo rising sign is to get something official said and done. Perfect for a DM with anyone in a relationship capacity of any nature. Fantastic for a romantic surprise or getaway. Expect good news on the 31st of July. Yeehaw. That's your astrology for the month. I hope you have a fabulous one. If I could wrap it all up with a nice red bow, I just think you might be in an opportune time as a Virgo rising signs to uh, change up your career, your public identity, your relationship status, and what you do behind closed doors regarding leadership and taking control of your life. Seems like the astrology is really leaning towards having the wind at your back and helping you get stronger within the self. Not forgetting that, you've got next month of Mercury, your chart ruler, in August, still transiting in that natal 12th house. But on the 2nd of September, Mercury is going into the first house. So this is a great time to prep the ground. What works, what doesn't? Where does your heart lie? Get rid of things that bother you, drain you. The astrology bodes well for you for getting your ducks in a row with your heart's desire and what you want in all aspects of your life. This is a beneficial time right now to clear the decks and bring in something brand new for you that feels empowering and gives you that self-satisfaction of you know where you're going, you know what you want, you know your heart's desire, and the astrology points to that. So work with the transits. You've got really nice astrology in the month of July and coming towards you in the month of August. Alrighty, till next time, Virgo rising signs, stay cosmic.